fun technique that adds a lot of detail to any garment or any project that you're creating is something called tucks. And all that they are is just simply what they say. You are folding two pieces of fabric, or actually the same piece of fabric together, creating a fold and in a sense a tuck. So you can see it, I've started out with 2 tucks here, and we're going to create 2 more tucks. We're going to use the straight stitch with the stitch selector set on A, stitch length of 2.5, and we are using the standard presser foot. Now what I did was I actually measured my tucks, or my distance, and then I measured a distance for each particular section of the tuck. So I have 3 lines for each tuck. The center line is my fold line. I'm going to simply fold my fabric, wrong sides together. You're always going to be stitching on that right side with that center mark line along that fold. Everything is under the presser foot, and then I'm going to just simply follow my straight line and sew. Again, I don't need to follow where that needle is. What I need to make sure is that I'm keeping that line aligned with that needle, not so much aligned with any type of marking on my needle plate unless I set that up to start with. And sew to the ends. And you're going to want to make sure that when you do this kind of technique and you mark your fabric, that you use some type of marker that is either irons away or it washes away, so that you don't have those marks on your finished piece. So that was my 3rd tuck, and now again we're going to create our 4th tuck by folding again on that folded line. And because this is a cotton, I can press that or finger press that, and that will stay folded. Lower my presser foot and stitch along that marked line again. Now, one thing that you're going to have to be very conscious about when you're creating tucks, if you've noticed, is that I always start in the same position, meaning I started on the left and I'm creating my tucks with that stitching always on top. I don't rotate it back and forth. And when I finish the seam, I'll explain that a little further so it makes a little bit more sense. So I'm going to come to my end and take my needle out of my fabric. So this is my 4th tuck. If I were going to create my 5th tuck, what I don't want to do is fold my fabric over in this sense, because now I'm sewing on the back side of my fabric, or the back side of my tuck, and this is the back side of my tuck. I always want to make sure that I'm sewing on the same side of my tuck for stitch consistency. Now in this case, what I've done is I've pressed my tucks to the right, and with my 2 new tucks I would go to the iron and I would literally press everything to the right. So when everything is said and done, my tucks fall kind of in a row, and you can see that stunning detail that is created, and that's just using the simple straight stitch on your baby lock joint.